At this time, I want to ask you to please rise. We're going to ask Commissioner Baker to lead us in prayer, and then to remain standing with the seconds.
I have the right to appreciate another day to come here to serve you and the citizens of Limestone County. Pray for our country as we're going through all this stress. We ask you to look over us and look over this budget today and make the right decisions for the county. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to our Commissioners Court today. We're honored to have our new commissioners seated today. That's Precinct 1, Billy Senator. Welcome. And Stephen Friday, Precinct 3. Welcome to both of you. The next item, or let me just say for the record that all the commissioners are present. Next item is going to be a citizen's comment. And at this time, I think we do have someone here. Can you give me the sheet that has the number? Although I know that they know. I want to read a little bit off if you don't mind. This is the sign-in sheet, and at this time, what happens is we allow you to speak on any subject other than personnel matters or matters under litigation. The subjects are limited to 3 minutes each. No commissioner's court action or any discussion may take place on the matter until such matters are placed on the agenda and posted in accordance with law. And basically what that means is you got a right to come over here and say almost anything you want to say other than personnel or litigation, but unfortunately we can't respond back to you because we don't have it on our agenda. So at this time, we do have Todd Mills that wants to come before the Commissioner's Court. Mr. Mills, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. I'm here today on behalf of some of the people in the western part of Limestone County. And Mr. Duncan, Mr. Herring, y'all doing a fine job. They are well pleased with the work y'all doing, the people out in that area. But they can't say that much for you commissioners. They don't never see y'all riding the roads, no times. And I know some of y'all are just been elected. You didn't have a chance. You know what I'm saying? And not being, taxpayers need to see y'all out there. You know, it's just, that's something that needs to happen. And, you know, another thing, and when Jerry is on vacation or off work, y'all need to be out there kind of helping him out a little bit also, because one morning, at 9:30 in the morning, 3 employees sitting on the back pickup Prairie Hill shooting the breeze instead of working, because there wasn't a boss out there. And one other time I was flying across the road from one, a maintainer operator parked under a shade tree and slept for 2.5 hours because they didn't have no boss. Nobody riding the roads to look. You know what I'm saying? Jerry can't do it all. I'll tell you all that now. And we got 3 roads out there, 3 things out there in that area that nothing's been done. The windmill people are not going to do anything anymore. They moved their equipment. I talked to 2 supervisors again last week. They're not going to do anything anymore. They're gone. That's it. It don't matter. Whatever y'all kind of deal y'all had with them, they give you y'all money or whatever, that's it. But that road, 311, they fixed it on each end where they worked. In the middle, there ain't nothing but mud. And we travel that way with farm equipment all the time, and grain trucks and stuff. We need that road to do, you know. And they saved y'all enough money on gravel, you know, that they'll be able to afford to do that. You know, fix it up. 318, the oil sand part, which somebody said they were going, y'all gonna get them to do that, well, they ain't gonna do that either. Well, somebody went in there and patched it up here the last few days. They kind of licked and promised it, in other words. They didn't, you know, they got a get by. But that road needs grinding up and redoing completely. And then that low water crossing on 334, we can't go across the big equipment or grain trucks. And we went through there and we took a blade that's on the tractor and made a bypass to where we could get kind of around it. You know what I'm saying? But we can't do it when it's wet. And the windmill people, we had a field road going from 342 over to the 334. The windmill people rocked that road for us. It was just a dirt road, but we can go through there now when it's you know, when it's dry. or when it's with, I'm sorry. And also, they're not real pleased with the sheriff's department. They don't see nobody patrolling out there either. And our crime rate is getting up, theft especially, is going up, and you still got the drunks coming out of that Ben Hur beer joint. They either going to gravel roads, 606 back to Mart, or 607 back to Curtin, Ben Hur, or Prairie Hill. And, you know, the game warden has caught some of them, you know, DWIs and stuff. But, you know, somebody's gonna be killed one of these days. It's gonna be too bad. It really is. And I'm sorry to say that. And, we still got the drug house down there below where I live. And now they got one found out the other day on, I believe it's 610. They got a drug house. And it's bigger than the one down below me. You know, I've talked about this. I was here about a year ago and talked about this. Don't seem like nothing's been done. I know everybody's doing the best they can with what they got or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But, I'm gonna say this. About a year from now, if I don't see some kind of changes done, I think I'm gonna get those people that are griping over in western Limestone County, bring them all over here, set them down here in Coldwater. Maybe, I pay taxes. As a matter of fact, I'm fixing to go pay mine when I walk out of here at the mall. And I'm a taxpayer, and my boss, he owns a lot. My two bosses, they own a lot of land. One of them lives in Robinson, the other lives in San Marcos. And I work for both of them. And I'm over the whole county in that area all the time, every day. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I get on the tractor. I see one deputy patrol that area about 4 months ago, within a year. And I don't know if he was patrolling or if he was just going to work. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? We just don't see them. And, so when you call them, they'll say, well, we'll get a deputy to call you, we'll get a deputy to come by. A lot of times that don't happen. I had one deputy call me and said, where is 607 at? You know, what kind of people you got working? I ain't saying everybody's bad. I just saying they need to be, things need to be changed a little bit. And Mr. Duncan, I thank you for letting me come in here and talk. I appreciate that. And I'm not, somebody went to Mr. told me one time, if you keep griping, we ain't gonna do nothing for you. Well, that's not the right attitude to have.
Well, let me just say that we appreciate you coming in.
Well,
And
like I say, I'm just bringing the comments, and from the other people also.
Yes, sir.
A lot of them's old like me, and they don't want to get up and talk, and don't want to come out,
Well, and
And I told someone yesterday, I was coming to the court today.
Right. And in an attempt not to be rude to you, sir, I don't want to be rude to you, these commissioners don't want to be rude to you.
I know.
I certainly let you have more than 3 minutes because I think you wanted to do it. And I just want to tell you, thank you from us, and we'll, see.
All right.
I think we all heard you.
Okay,
Okay?
and each one of y'all, I appreciate it also.
And we appreciate you now paying your taxes.
All right.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, the next item on our agenda is our consent agenda. I trust that you all had a chance to look at this over the weekend. Is there any discussion on anything that's in the consent agenda that y'all would like to have some discussion about right now?
Move we accept the consent agenda.
Got a motion and a second to accept the consent agenda. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that passes. All right, let's go over to our regular agenda. The very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to accept some reports by the county officials. I'll start with Mr. Swift. Do you have anything?
I don't have anything to report that.
Okay, thanks, sir. Mr. Ellis, do you have anything other than what you did?
Well, I might just add, what you have in front of us, the December report, which is, shows to be kind of light activity as normal because of the holidays, but, we were already 3 times over what we did in December, our activity level in January, so we're off and running. Also, I might add, we do have a livestock show, a junior livestock show this weekend. If any of you are interested, you can come out. It's turned into a pretty big show that opened it up to anyone, so there's a lot of people there. Thank you.
Okay, let's see if I'm missing anybody. Sheriff.
Sir.
And I did say sheriff.
Yes, sir. Our jail keeps down a little bit right now. We have 109 in jail today, 95 females, or 95 males, 14 females. We have 6 from Freestone County and 7 from Robertson County. For the month of December, we had transports totaling 127 hours. So around 3,500 miles, cost a little over $4,000 in transport with inmates, hospital visits, and TDC trips. Recently, our TDC trips have changed with the closing of some of the units, and our drop-off point is going to be farther south, and it's going to take us a little bit more time, and be a lot longer trip for us. Any other questions?
The count for Freestone County is way down from what?
Yes, sir.
Do you anticipate that coming back up? or-
I believe so.
or We have issues with Freestone County.
No, not that I'm aware of. I believe we'll get it back up some. I think with the holidays and with COVID, a lot of your in and outs have slowed down. We've also had other counties who call that need to redo contracts and different other things that are interested possibly in housing inmates at times. So I anticipate that going back up. Thank you.
Sure. Any other department heads missed? Okay, that being the case, I'll entertain a motion to accept these reports. I do have a motion. Second. And a second to approve these reports. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay, the next item on the agenda is to receive and approve a safety report concerning any accidents and safety concerns in the past month. This is, I'm hoping that Commissioner Friday met with Road and Bridge, and at this time, would you like to give us a report? Commissioner Friday.
Went with Jerry and his team yesterday, and there was nothing to report, no accidents. Told everybody I'm gonna talk to them and just be safe.
You want to approve that, make a motion to approve that then?
I'll make a motion that we approve the safety report.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? We're going to go into discussion of possible action enacting a county burn ban. I think we certainly need to put that burn ban on right now that we're in. Okay, we're just going to pass that item and take no action. Just do it. Next item, well, I tell you what, before we do this, I want to go ahead and move down to City of Mahia. I don't think Christie will sit here forever, so let's see if I can get down and find what item that is. 15, let's go ahead and move down to item number 15, and that's going to discuss and take action on 2021 general election services contract with the City of Mahia, excuse me, for the May 1st, 2021 City of Mahia general election. If you'd like, you can come up and tell us what you want to talk to us about, Christie.
I was just here doing this not too long ago.
Seem like you were.
So it's like, I just had the last.
Primarily, I think if I understand what you're doing is you're making sure that we get a contract between the City of Mahia and Limestone County's election folks, so that y'all can use the machines and just everything in the contract. Is that what it's about?
It's actually.
Right, okay. And that's what the City of Mahia is asking us to do. Anybody have any discussion on this item? We've done it for a long time now. This is just making it official.
I move with it, we approve our contract with the city of Mahia for elections.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? It passes. Anything else you want to do? I'll sign it.
Next week.
Well, tell you what, leave it with her, and we're gonna want to get copies of it. Well, y'all still have to sign it. A lot of people have to sign
Yeah.
it. Just leave it with her, and we'll get it. All right, thanks, Kristen. All right. Now let's go ahead and move into our recognition of employees' years of service. This is something that we're always proud to do. Let me go ahead and get them from you. Where they at? Okay. I don't think we have a lot of folks here right now, but okay. From the probation department, I want to ask Raquel Sanders to please come forward. This is a certificate of achievement and, for, here, if you don't mind, we'll say kind of part. Not that I have anything against you, but we're not gonna be shaking hands and all that today.
Y'all both had it anyway.
Yeah. Okay, we vote. All right. This certificate of achievement is awarded to Raquel Sanders for 5 years of service to Limestone County. And I'd just like to say, I know I work with her some in the court. I've never heard anything but good things about this. So thanks very much for what you do.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, man.
Thank you.
The next one's gonna be hard to give out because I'm not 100% sure that he's been here 10 years, but I need to call Commissioner Robert J. Forrest.
I don't know if I can get my picture ready.
All right, let me go ahead and read this off then before we start. Certificate of Achievement awarded to Robert J. Forrest, I know him as Bobby, for 10 years of service to the citizens of Limestone County. And so, thank you, sir, for what you're doing. Yes, sir. Okay, now we got a big one here, Marianne.
Been here 10 years.
I'd like to, this is a special certificate that we give out. When you get 20 years, you get a plaque. And so for Murray Agnew, the new sheriff of Limestone County, he's now served 20 years for Limestone County. I want to say thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I think everybody else is working hard and we're unable to make it, but we want to thank you. Tell you what, let me have that. I want to go ahead and just read it off in the public, if you don't mind. We had Ricky Fowler, Sheriff's Department, 5 years. We had Minnie Jefferson, 5 years. We had Mark Waller for 5 years. We had Ellen Earls for 5 years. Billy Tunnel had 5 years. And Billy Walter Jr. had 5 years. Besides Commissioner Forrest, we had Nancy Castillo for 10 years. Jason Ash for 10 years. John Salazar had 10 years. In addition to Murray at 20 years, we had Mark Roark at 20 years service. And out of juvenile probation, Karen Daniels. So we want to publicly recognize those folks for the number of years they've given to Limestone County. Okay, that being said, let's keep going. All right, we'll go ahead and move to item number 11. This is discuss and or take action on installation of a 12 by 24 concrete slab with awning at the fairgrounds in memory of Brian Bradley, Limestone County Shooting Sports 4-H group. Do we have someone here from 4-H? You know, come on up and tell us what this is all about. Right, I know we talked about this from our last meeting, but we need a little bit more information on it, and you have all that information, right?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
The kids shoot down there past the show bar, and there's a barn down there, and so we're beginning our season. It's a little wet, but we want to put a 12 by 20 concrete slab down there with an awning over it for them to shoot under, because some days we can shoot when it's misting or lightly raining, and we get a lot of that, during this time of year. And we have until like mid-March to finish our competition, but anyway, so yeah, we want to do that. And so we're going to try to get things donated if we can, materials and things, but we have a private, someone who's going to pay for what we don't get donated.
So it's if I understand correctly, y'all are wanting to put some concrete and a slab above where we already have our shooting area down here.
Right. Yes.
Murray, let me get your thoughts on it. This is kind of your.
Yes, sir. It's the 4-H fire range we made, Road Bridge made it several years ago. It's on the, I guess it'd be the eastern edge of the property, down across the creek, farther down from the sheriff's office and showgrounds.
But it's still in the same, you're still shooting into the same burn that's being made for our deputies? to shoot?
No, sir,
No.
it's a different burn that's on the back side of the property. And it shoots in a different direction. It's not shooting towards the showgrounds. There's plenty of trees, there's wood, there's a creek, there's all kinds of stuff in
And
between.
as far as you're concerned, you're okay with it?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else have anything they want to visit about this about? It sounds like it's really, you're not asking us to pay for it. Y'all are gonna raise the money and then you have another donation. Does anybody have any discussion on this? All right, thank you very much. What's the pleasure of this commissioner's report on this item?
I'll make a motion that we pass it.
Did you approve it? Yes. Okay. No second? Second. Okay, we do have a motion and a second to approve the 4-H building this concrete slab with a awning. Any other discussion on this item? Anybody opposed to it? Or all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, let's keep going. Item number 12 is going to be a discussion and take action on some interlocal agreements between Limestone County and Bell County, Limestone County and Robertson County. One of the things, of course, that when you get these interlocal agreements, and Murray, I'll make sure that you're, I guess I should, but I need to start saying Sheriff, I'm sorry. Sheriff, I'll ask you, the things that I look for when I read these, and I want to make sure that the per diem is fair to us, and that we're not having to transport their inmates. When I read this, I did not see that we had to do any transportation, and the $50 a day is a relatively fair amount for a day. Do you have anything to add or to this?
No, sir.
Okay. That being the case, I need to ask y'all if y'all want to go into a contract with Bell County first.
I move we approve the interlocal agreement between Limestone and Bell County.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll go ahead and go to item number 13, which is the same as that thing with Robertson County. I think when you reported today, we already have some Robertson.
Yes, sir.
So we just need to make this official on what we, and if I understand correctly, this is the same per diem we're getting paid right now, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At this time, I need to know if anyone wants to make a motion to approve the Robertson County. All right, we have a motion. Second. And a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. That'll bring us to item number 14. It says to discuss and take action, authorize county judge to negotiate restoration bids with Charlie Kern. Sam's here. At this time, I'm going to open these bids and we'll report them. Natasha is not here. Natasha, someone in her office, I think, has the COVID, so they're having to quarantine a little bit up in that office. So I'm going to go ahead and open these up in front of everybody real quick and then we'll take action. And just to let y'all know what this is on our restoration on this courthouse. We started this, I know when right after I got appointed, we got awarded a grant. What was the amount of that grant, Sam?
Originally, I think it came in at 540,000, and then they bumped it up to 650, 700,000.
Anyway.
With our ad.
Anyway, to let you know what happened is, we have to, for the first year, we budgeted 600,000 because we have to pay it and then get them back. This is not money that goes against our, for our taxpayers in establishing our tax rate. But still, the auditor wanted to put the 600,000 in the budget. Then I found out that of that 600,000, we were going to be responsible for about half of it. So we were going to come out with about $300,000. Then they came out and even reduced it more. So the maximum we should have to pay on this is around 125 to 150, and we certainly have that budget. Anyway, what they're doing today is they're presenting their bids on what it's going to cost to what these contractors are going to charge us to fix the things that we've agreed to or we talked about. And then what the agenda item is that y'all are going to ask, if it's okay that y'all approve me to negotiate with these to make sure that we get the best price. So I'm going to first put up okay, this is from J.C. Stoddard Construction.
Except you for the record, I don't know that we need to
Talk about the price.
about that dollar. here that these will go back to the engineer and architect to make sure that these meet the specs that they.
Let's just do that for the record then. For the record then, we opened up one from J.C. Stoddard, and now I'm gonna open up one from Premier Metalworks. We don't have to take actual action today on the actual numbers, just that we got them in, we opened the agreement for it. And,
The state has a real high degree of transparency, and so they want it done this way. It's not our usual way to set bids, but it'll go on the permanent record, which is what they require.
What I will do is I will go through each one of these. We'll determine with Sam which one is, we think is the best for the county, and then we'll present it back to you. Anything else, Sam, that you want to
Well,
add?
I just want to let Mr. Shadler, Mr. Friday know that we have an ongoing, trying to do an ongoing restoration of the courthouse. We have a master preservation guide that lets us know where we're at. We just recently had the engineers and architects come through and point some stuff out to us. Most of these things everything is described in the book, and it's in that office. You tell everyone to look at something and say, well, man, this isn't looking right to me. I can promise you it's in that book. It's either scheduled to be, not scheduled to be repaired, but it's going to tell you the condition that it's in and how long they think that's going to be before it has to be repaired. And so just know it's an ongoing, this is built to be 100 years old in a few years. And it's an ongoing process to keep it, to keep the historical status. It's requires a more detail than it normally would if it was just an office building that somebody had privately owned because of the designation. A lot of times it seems cumbersome and a lot of red tape, but at the end, the product that you get is going to be worth it because it's going to be done the way it was supposed to be done. A lot of things that have been done down here over the years. And one reason we're having to do this project is because they, back in I think the 80s, they put the roof on wrong. And that's causing all these problems that we have now. So if you ever have any questions about that, I'd be happy to walk you through this. As soon as we just make sure that these bids are to spec, we will be coming back before you guys, and we'll pick one of these two companies. They're both good companies. Unfortunately, they were the only two, but they're both good companies. Appreciate y'all's time today.
Thank you, Sam.
Okay, any other discussion on this item? What's the pleasure on authorizing me to negotiate the bids?
I make a motion that we authorize the county judge to look over these bids. Rest of the
Do you have a motion?
Second.
And a second. Any other discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. All right, the next item is going to be item number 16, and that is to discuss and take action on designation of signatories on Limestone County Detention Center inmate trust account. This is something that we do pretty much every year, if I understand it correctly, to make sure that we have the proper people on these trust accounts. Let's see, was this something that Tasha brought up? I don't know if I need to call her or not. Basically what it's going to be is we're going to make sure that with the change in commissioners, myself, the sheriff, that we all are on the proper signature page for that account. Do any of y'all want to talk to Natasha about this? I'll call it there and get her on. I'll entertain a motion then to pass this. Okay. We do have a motion. Second. And a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item number 17 is something that we've got a couple of vehicles that, one of them is Sam's truck that kind of faltered on us. We're going to try to go ahead and get rid of it. The other one is a truck that was at probation at one time, moved it down to the DA's office. It's got some problems, and they said they don't really need it. So I would like to ask that we put these two vehicles up for a bid, and see if we can get them off our insurance and get whatever money we can for them. What's y'all's thoughts on that?
So moved.
Motion and a second, any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, you get your. All right, next item on the agenda, is the comp time report. I wanted to visit with the commissioners about this. One of the things that we've certainly tried to do over the last couple of years is to get our comp time down a little bit. There is one area that we just, we'd like to get it down as much as we can, but we know that when it comes to our deputies, our jailers, and our communication center, dispatch, that they are 24/7 employees. We gotta have people there 24/7, so if someone's on COVID, someone's got vacation plans, someone's got, just calling in sick, whatever the case is, we have to have people working, and they have to be qualified to work. Some of the areas that I've gone to every department in this courthouse and visited with every elected official here in the courthouse is to please, let's work on our comp time for our administration. The administration is something that when we budget each year, we budget X number of dollars for salaries. One thing we don't budget for is how much comp time we're going to add, and comp time is a liability to this county. We do have to pay that. Either they get to take it, or if they ever leave, we have to write a check out for that comp time. So, that being the case, there are some areas that I'm asking that they really work hard to make sure that we are not using comp time when we absolutely, positively don't have to. Jerry Herron, I visited with him. Murray, I'm asking you to take a strong look at your admin side there at your office, and see if there's a way that we can keep those admin people that are not 24/7, start working on their comp time. Mr. Ellis, I think you and I visited about your comp time, and everyone else has been talking about it, but one thing I'm asking is that we take a strong look at everyone, and some even with the jail and the deputies and the others. Let's always be prudent of that, but that's something we really can't do much about. The other, I think we can, guys. And whether it be the constables, the JPs, whatever. Let's take a close look at this comp time, because all it does is add money to the liabilities of Limestone County. So that being said, I think I just put this on the discussion. We don't have to take any action on this, but I'm publicly asking all the departments, so let's please work on our comp time, please. Okay?
Can I ask a thing?
Go ahead.
On our admin staff, I've looked at it, I've talked to them, and they've never been paid down on their comp time.
Okay.
Jamie Bates been there 16 years.
Right.
I think she received payment one time when she was still back in dispatch years ago. Lorraine has been there over 10 years, or right around 10 years. And she has a little over 100 hours. They get 0 overtime. So anything over 40 hours goes straight to comp time at time and a half. So really, 100 hours over 10 years at time and a half, there's not 60 hours of officially actually worked hours. So I mean, it's not like there's an abuse, but when we don't pay it down with the overtime or with vacation and with comp time, it's hard to take it both, because when you're taking it all off, you're making somebody else have to work to cover those shifts. Is there any way in the budget we can try to budget a minimal amount for overtime compensation so that we can pay those few hours that they do work over to try and get the comp time down?
Well, I certainly am open to that. I'm sure the commissioner would be open to that. The bottom line is that we budget for 8-hour days for admin in your department at the admin.
I don't disagree with that.
We're just asking that, and I don't want to go into each one of these people. But I'm just asking that department, that side of your department, if y'all keep a close look at it, and this is just
and we'll try and do that. We're trying, but when you break it down, it's not
well, and one of
a
the
huge
things.
amount. It just adds up over time when you can't pay it down anytime through the years. It just continues to add up.
Well, I understand it adds up, and my question is, why do we even have it? what is the admin out there doing that they're having to work so many extra hours?
Well, like for the transition, Jamie was there at midnight when we got sworn in. She was there to photograph the deputy. She's there to do the paperwork for the midnight shift jailers on 2 different shifts. I mean, they're coming in different times. She's worked all the positions up front. When the ladies were shorthanded in the front, she's either doing warrants or doing the reports to try and keep up with the influx of stuff. The stuff is still coming in and we still have to get it processed and out. So I mean, at times, it just runs up. It's not an everyday deal. It's not a every month deal, but it does add up at times. But when we can't pay it down over
So let
15
me ask you a
years,
question. If we were to get this paid down, then we wouldn't see much more of it.
I think you'd see a very minimal amount.
Because one of the things that I'm proposing to these commission is if we ever do get our CARES fund, that's one of the areas that we do is pay down some of this comp time.
I think that would go a long ways, because what I've noticed, whether it's been the jail or the deal with patrol, when we're full, we're able to get off hours a little bit easier, especially on the night shifts. But some of the other stuff is harder. But if we can pay it down or pay it off, it's a whole lot easier to control. You can catch it when you're 8 and 10 hours and be able to keep it. But whenever it stays there for 10, 15, 16 years, in some cases 20, it adds up year after year. It just keeps getting larger.
And I don't want to keep going on this, Murray. I hear what you're saying. But every other department is taking care, they're flexing a little bit. They're trying to flex some hours so that we don't get.
We try and do the same thing.
I appreciate it. Okay, let's continue on then. That was, again, just a discussion item. So let's go to item number 19. And it's going to be discussing and take action on a new motor grader on the buyback program. Jerry, if you don't mind, can you give a Reader's Digest version of what this means to the new commissioners so they understand what we're talking about here?
Yes, every year we buy a program through Caterpillar, and we turn our older blades back in. They give us so much for reimbursement, and then we buy a brand new one for less cost. And all we do is rotate a new blade every year. Sometimes it's 2 every year. It's on a program that it costs us a lot less money to keep a new blade with less maintenance working with. Basically what it is.
Okay. And so right now, this is on the agenda because of the, go ahead and explain to us what this is. This is what Caterpillar has given us for this year.
Right. If we was to buy the Caterpillar coming back this year just outright, it would cost us $278,000. On the buyback program, which we get new blade for 3 years, 5,000 hours for $138,000.
So it's basically a lease program.
It is.
It's kind of the lease program. The difference, if I understand it, is what we, that's quite a bit higher than we did last year.
Yes.
That's double almost, isn't
And the
it?
prices went up this year.
But isn't that like double?
It was like 80-something thousand last year.
Other than 60, maybe I'm wrong.
I'm thinking about it. Something else.
So
Maybe wrong.
anyway, what's happening is it's going to cost us $50,000 more than we've been used to paying to get a new, to buy it back.
Right.
We didn't get no bids from, John Deere this year.
This is strictly through Caterpillar.
And so right now, what would happen if you no longer wanted to go with Caterpillar and we wanted to go out and look for other?
That's strictly, of course, prerogative to do whatever. You wanna look
Jerry, don't we have 2 maintainers down there that are old, like 25 years old? I think, we ought to consider getting, doing something with them one of these days, I mean, I don't know if we can afford to do it right now, we just have to look at it. I think time comes we need to do it, because they stay, no one of them stays broke down.
Yeah, we use one all the time, the other one stays pretty much broke down. We have
So what
that, we have that $138,000 in your budget for road equipment. I move we approve that, motor grader to be bought in the buyback program.
Second.
Okay, we do have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? That'll pass then. Item number 20 is discuss and or take action on some salary change adjustments. The first one is going to be, we've got two of them from the deputies, three of them, three changes from the, on the deputies. Number one, Ryan Curry has been moved to the bailiff, and he's actually taken a cut. Jason Ash is being promoted to a supervisory sergeant. And that's going to be $1 an hour, which would be $2,080 a year increase. And then Ricky Smythe is being moved from the bailiff to a CID 2. And that would be an increase of $4,185. So basically, the money that Curry was getting is now going to be going to the same budgeted amount to Ricky Smythe. And as far as the deputies go, the only addition to a line item, not to the overall budget, to the line item would be Jason Ash for $2,080. Past that, we've got, we'll do them individually. First one is going to be the Limestone County deputies. What's y'all's pleasure on giving, making those salary adjustments?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The next item is in our jail. We've got two areas there. One, if I understand correctly, we're going to be moving Gloria Bell to a compliance officer. That is a hefty increase. I don't mind telling you. Would she not do that for the same money, Mark?
That is the money she makes now. That's her current pay. She's not getting a raise. She's just transferring from a supervisory sergeant position to a compliance officer.
Then this is wrong with me. Have you seen this?
No,
This says that her base pay is $29,960 and her base pay is going to $40,000.
I don't understand that. She has been a sergeant, due to, medical and other issues. She works, 8 hours. She's mandated to an 8-hour shift. We normally work 12, so we're removing her from the sergeant position, which then automatically leaves us short on that shift, which causes overtime issues.
Right.
Moving her to the new, now, where that may come in, Judge, is it went to one of the new open positions, which that may be the starting pay for one of those positions. That may be where where it shows a raise, because that's the position that we created this year whenever we talked about it in the budget, of having an 8 to 5 or a noon to 8 position to help fill in and relieve some of the overtime issues.
Do you want to see this?
Yeah, but she's not going to be getting that money though. If we're saying that just her base, forget about her longevity, forget about certification pay, just base pay.
I think that's what her salary is now, as a sergeant.
What it's read.
And I think that's what an entry level position would be. That's where I think it's gonna show that there's an increase there.
So you think she's already making the?
Yes, sir, she's already taking that money right now, yes, sir.
So she's not really getting a raise, she just moved.
Correct. We're just transferring her from a sergeant's position to the compliance position where she can oversee,
Hello.
where she can oversee the paperwork for the state and TBC.
Hang on a second, I've got Natasha, the auditor on the line. She's quarantining. Kind of, go ahead and tell me what that is.
Budgeted for $29,960, that position. So moving her to that position, she's increasing it by the $10,028 because her salary is the $40,800.
Okay,
She's been there 25 years plus.
that position pays $29,680, but we're moving her to it, but she already makes 40, so she's gonna keep her salary.
So she changed, what's happening is they're changing that budget, like she's not getting an increase.
Okay, all right. I guess
Increase the budget.
based on what I'm looking at from your department, Natasha, it looks like Her approved annual base salary was $29,960.
That's for that position, and it was an empty position.
That's what an entry level that, jailer would make, Judge. So that position is at an entry level,
Okay,
so
so-
we moved her over to that.
But she wasn't at an entry, she was at a sergeant. So I don't understand the math here, but I guess I'll go along with it. Okay, thank you, Natasha. Any other questions for Natasha?
Get well.
You're saying that she would, if she was entry level, it would be 29,960,
Yes, sir.
but she's already making the 40,000 now?
Yes, sir. She's been a sergeant. She's been working with the sheriff's office over 25 years. And
She's making that salary already?
Yes, sir, that's her.
Transfer from one job to another?
correct, that's her current salary.
And this just shows what that job would have been if
Yes, sir.
somebody been hired off the street
Yes,
without 25.
Her current salary is $40,088.
Yes, sir.
There's no additional money.
No additional money.
But there will be additional money there will be additional money when you start moving the people up. Teresa Beekman, the next one there, is getting additional money. She's having to move up the field.
She's
And then you're
moving,
gonna have to hire someone else in, so.
she's moving to the sergeant, which would be the vacated sergeant's position,
Right.
is what she's moving to. And
She's
she'll be
actually
covering night shift.
Okay. Anyway, that's the, as far as the jail goes, those are the two positions that the sheriff's asking for a salary change or adjustment. Anybody, go ahead. Yea or nay that?
So move.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Last is the dreaded adjournment. We'll sit here all day until we get a motion.
So move.
Second. Second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much.
I'll call you later.
Yeah.